Hey gang, we're in the middle of a series called Beating Paycheck to Paycheck Poverty. That's because when I was a kid, my parents were paycheck poor. Like when I was in junior high school, I only had two outfits. We always drove old beat up cars, and this was the 1970s, okay? Beat up back then meant the sides had rusted out and the floorboards had rusted out. I don't want you to be paycheck poor. I want you to be better than the average bear and smarter than the average bear. This last week, November 1st, 2015, at Generations Community Church, we talked about a mindset shift. If you'll make a mindset shift in how you approach money and stuff, and if you'll tweak a few things, you'll worry less, you'll be more confident, and you'll be a lot more intentional. And that mindset shift is really simple. It's this. I want you to go from thinking about the money and stuff that you have as belonging to you to the money and stuff that you have actually belongs to God, and you simply manage it. There's a word in the New Testament, it's called oikonomos, and it means manager. It's where we get the word stewardship from. But I want to encourage you to embrace this mindset shift, because once you do that, once you become a manager of the money and stuff that's in your hands, here's the good news. Money problems become God problems, as in, hey, God, your car broke and I got to get to work, and if I don't get to work, my ability to pay bills is like crimped, so hey, you might want to do something about your car. Ding. I mean, good stuff happens. So here's a couple of points of application in case you missed this last week at Generations. Application point number 1. If you're going to be an effective manager, if you're going to be a good manager, you got to know where money is going, so you got to track expenses, and you got to have a plan. The shrewd manager in Luke 16, he had a plan. And you know what we call that when it comes to money? A budget. Yeah, actually telling money where to go, as in, hey, you dollars, you go buy some food and no steak this week. Okay? Stuff like that. You can do this. There's a couple of apps that can help you out. Mint.com and Every Dollar. That's an app you can get for iPhones, iPads, and you can get for Android devices, and it will help you budget and track expenses. We also talked about the fact that you could make a decision right now to actually live on a percentage of what comes in. In other words, if you're making $100 a week, make it part of your plan that you're going to live on 85% of that or 90% of that. The difference between what you're living on and what you make, that's called margin. And that allows you to do two things. It allows you to be generous and allows you to save for your future. Okay? Those are just a few things we've been talking about as we've been talking about beating paycheck to paycheck poverty. Visit our Facebook page and you'll find some link to some apps that you can use that can help you to get ahead of the curve when it comes to managing money.